Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe. I'm a sales and marketing coach and strategist for health coaches, life coaches, and wellness professionals who want to become a leader in their field by building their online community, rocking their sales process, and finally feeling confident about how they promote themselves and their marketing. On this show, we talk about tips to grow your business, save yourself time, and finally be able to create a sustainable, profitable business. Let's get into it. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Zero to Hero Coach Program. This is my 4-month program teaching coaches and online service providers how to grow your online business, book clients consistently, overcome your sales fears, and finally rock your social media visibility. If you struggle to create a sustainable coaching business, this program is for you. Check out HaileyRowe.com and book your free strategy call with my team or myself today. Thank you. Today we're going to talk about how to double your sales. So if you haven't already seen my podcast interview where I talked about how to double your sales, that was more about strategy, and it was more about really the equation to help you boost your sales or get the results you want, which comes down to two things. One is the Fastway framework, which I've talked about before in my videos. And if you're curious about the Fastway framework and you want my masterclass on that, you can comment masterclass below. And then the other equation that I shared with you was Brooke Castillo's equation of number of offers you make minus no's equal your results. But today we're going to talk about something different, and that is how to double your sales by you as the coach being sold yourself and changing your sales approach and your sales mindset. Because I can give you those equations, the Fastway framework, and the number of offers minus no's equal your results, but if you hate making offers, or you fear sales, or you think you're always charging too much, or you're such a burden, or it's not going to work, you're going to, of course, continue to fail at getting the sales that you want. So let's talk about this. And if you want to share your sales fears or concerns below in the comments, I'd love to see what you're struggling with and help you through that. So the first thing is, when it comes to sales, so often, let's actually, before we even get into the tips, you have to sell yourself first. So if you're not sold on coaching, write down all the reasons why it's helped you in your own life, or why you know it can help your clients, and ask yourself, what are the benefits? What are the reasons why people would want and need this? How has it changed other people's lives? And you have to really get yourself into a space where you fully believe in what you are selling. And if you get nervous, it's more like you coming from it thinking that what you are offering is a burden to people, or you're convincing people, or you're taking from people. And when you're from that headspace, you're going to feel terrible about sales. So you have to feel like you're giving to people. You have to feel like you're sharing with people. You have to feel like you're going to help people. That's a way better energy to come at sales with, right? So the first thing is practice selling yourself. And that's going to mean asking yourself, think about a time where you sold yourself on something. Maybe it was a new habit that you formed. You started to exercise, and you really hated it at first, and it felt hard, and it was not fun, and you dreaded it. But eventually, you probably went through a process of thinking about, what are the negative consequences if I don't do this? Why do I want to be doing this for my future self? What am I tired of that I'm dealing with right now that I am using exercise to help me work through? Meaning, maybe it was stress reliever for you or something. Why will my future self be glad I'm doing this? You had to get yourself into a headspace that you were sold on it. And you probably went through some discomfort or some small periods of time where you had to build up for it to become easier, right? So if you are fearing sales right now, start with yourself small, going through that same process that you did to get yourself to form a new habit or do something that you didn't really want to do at first. So that might mean journaling why you're doing it. It might mean starting to give yourself mini challenges like, hey, I'm going to practice giving an offer today. I know I'm not going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to feel nervous, but I'm practicing selling myself, and I know my confidence is going to come and get stronger by practicing. Or I'm going to write out the benefits of why, if I were my ideal client, why I would love to work with me, or whatever that is. So first, sell yourself. And you can even practice selling yourself on a topic that might be easier for you. If it's not going to be easy for you to start with your own business. So for what I mean by that is like sell yourself on your next 2-hour time block of what you're planning for yourself to do today. So for example, if you're like, hey, my calendar looks like this today and I really am dreading these next 2 hours, sell yourself, practice first on just selling yourself to get to yourself to follow the plan that you as an adult created for yourself and start there. Like just all day long you could be practicing sales with whatever with your next choice and why you are sold on that choice, right? So that's the first thing. Second, you have to understand that the sales go to the people who believe the hardest, right? So that's why we need to get yourself sold on what you do. And on the people who show up and assume that people would want what they have to offer. So if you're on discovery calls and you're like in the back of your mind, why would this person want this? I wouldn't even want to work with me. This is probably not going to work. That is a terrible way to show up, as we all know, right? So rather than assuming that, what if you could assume that every discovery call, somebody is showing up on a call with you, they've put time into their day to talk with you, and why can't you believe that of course they want solutions to their problem, or of course they want to explore the options? And that is a much better way to show up, because you shift from that convincing, I'm taking from people, I'm being a burden to people, to a space of, okay, this person wants solutions. Let's explore what those are. Let's see if I could solve it with them. Let's see if I can offer to help. And going from that energy. And the other thing when it comes to, sales is if you are uncomfortable, you have to understand that you are going to okay, so let me back up. If you're on a call or you're doing a launch and you give in to discomfort quickly because either you have a no-show and you let that destroy your spirit, or somebody says, hey, I need more time to think about this, and you immediately go, okay, that's uncomfortable, I don't want to ask why, I don't want to ask for a follow-up call, like I'm going to just get off the phone immediately. The person who you're going to lose a sale, okay? So if you give in to discomfort very easily in your life, in sales, in marketing, etc., you're going to not struggle with sales. So how you have to manage this is understand that I am going to, as a coach, be curious. I am going to learn from my ideal client about why they might need more time and what would help them to come to a conclusion. And I'm going to, give them something to walk away with that's of value and follow up with them and see how it went for them. And I'm going to explore, even if the questions I'm asking might be uncomfortable for the person, but if the person wants the outcome that you can offer them, it's only natural as a coach to be curious and ask questions and not run away from discomfort, especially if you're a coach. If your clients, every session you have with a client is probably because they need to do something that's uncomfortable for them and they want help and accountability and support. So if you run away from discomfort, both when it comes to coaching your clients and when it comes to sales, you're going to fail a lot and never close the sale. So you need to come at this from, okay, this person needs more time. Tell me a little bit more about what that looks like for you. Tell me a little bit more about what would help you find the time. Tell me a little bit more about, if they say it's expensive, it is. Maybe your coaching is expensive. Maybe that's just it's never a fact because it's so objective, but maybe you're like, yeah, it is expensive, but what is more expensive? how might it be true that not getting support and not, working with somebody and finding solutions is expensive in your life, right? And it might be an uncomfortable question for people to answer, because they might realize, well, by me continuing to put things off, continuing to procrastinate, continuing to spend money on things that don't work, it is costing me a lot. And they might not have realized that if you don't ever ask questions, because you were uncomfortable. It's not even about you too, by the way. It is about seeing if you can help somebody, seeing if you can make some recommendations that would get them results, and exploring with them that their own discomforts and things that have been holding them back in their life, to see if you can support them in that transition to getting what they actually want, right? So those kinds of things, those objections, obviously I'm not somebody who's like, you need to give a lecture, you need to be salesy, but I am somebody who thinks you need to ask questions. You need to leave open space. You need to understand where the person's coming from, and you can't do that if you just run away from any discomfort whatsoever. So please ask questions, be curious, ask, let's do this and let's follow up. You are the leader. They're coming to you because they clearly are interested in getting some support. So own that, right? And work with the person. You're partnering with them. So you need to understand their concerns, and you need to coach through those, and you need to be there for them. And then the other thing is, think about who your ideal clients would be attracted to. So not only, in a lot of my videos and stuff, I talk about how as a new coach, you gotta show up for your clients. You have to show up for your leads. You have to put yourself out there and go find clients, rather than just waiting and sitting back and waiting for them to come to you. But at the same time, you have to also think about what would attract people to me, rather than me just going out and finding them, right? And it's the same thing in sales. When you are doing sales, a lot of times I see coaches like talking way too much, word vomiting, giving a lecture, a presentation, or a pitch, and that is kind of a turnoff, right? Rather than thinking about what kind of coach would my ideal clients be attracted to, and how can I open that space in my videos, in how I show up, in my sales calls, etc. And nobody likes a needy, graspy, desperate person, right? Because then it's like, what's going on here, right? So think about as well, what kind of qualities, what kind of skill sets, what kind of mindset do you want to have going into sales? And if it's needy and desperate and, I need to give a lecture and all this stuff, then I want you to sit back for a second and ask yourself, how can I treat this as like a coaching session? Your goal should be to help the person find the best solution for them. And sometimes you're going to find out that the person's not a fit for what you do, and you should end the call. And other times, you guys are going to jive. They are going to be looking for the solution that you have the solution for. They are going to want and be interested in changing their life. And it's up to you to, be that person who is opening that space for them and offering that opportunity for them, and not just, coming in with a pre-made agenda and giving a pitch and doing it in a way that's going to actually turn them off when they were already interested. Do you know what I mean? So those are some initial tips when it comes to your sales mindset. You want to be the kind of person who assumes the best case scenario, that people want to actually talk with you and work with you. Number 2, you have to be sold yourself on what you do and the value of it. Number 3, you have to treat people like people and genuinely be curious, genuinely hold space for them, genuinely be looking for solutions to help them out with their current concerns and objections, and not run away from discomfort. Because your job as a coach is to help them work through their own discomfort. And so if you just hate discomfort, you're going to do really poorly as an entrepreneur. So go ahead and comment your sales concerns. And again, if you wanted your own, a couple things, I am going to do this giveaway. I'm doing this giveaway right now as far as if you are engaging in this group and inviting 2 friends or more that are coaches, online entrepreneurs, etc., you can be entered to win a hot seat coaching session live with me. And then the other thing is, if you want your very own, example of what coaching is like, we do offer on my team free strategy calls, free intro calls, where we do talk about your business, the plan, what you're working on, what you're struggling with, and give you some initial feedback, and explore other solutions as well, obviously, if that means working together. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it means you need a couple tweaks and you go do it and you're good to go. But we do offer that in this group to our group members. So if you want to have a call, you can comment call, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And if you liked it and want to reserve your very own free sales audit, go to haileyrowe.com/strategy-call to book your very own free sales audit. On the call, we'll talk more about the common concerns you get from your ideal clients, how to overcome those concerns, how to coach through objections, how to change your mindset around sales, and improve your sales process so you can be closing and converting more clients. I can't wait to connect with you, and go to haileyrowe.com/strategy-call to take the first step. Thanks so much. Have a good day.